So welcome to our review of the Retron 5. We're going to give you a sort of hardware overview, just a brief one, and then take you through to a bit of gameplay. I've had this now for about 3 weeks, 2.5 weeks, from funstock.co.uk, and we've been putting it through its paces with the team. I thought it's about time just to take you through a small review, what we think about it, what we like about it, what we think you guys might want to know about it a bit more, and yeah, just a general overview of the machine. We'll probably do another video as well, a bit more gameplay, but at least gives you a heads up as to what we think about the machine. So let's just go around the hardware itself. We've got the obligatory power button that fires up for, well, LED lights up really. Put your finger on it for a couple of seconds and it fires the machine up. We've got the purple, black and grey version here, which yeah, it's pretty nice looking. We didn't get the black version because mainly more dust to put off a black console, so just kept it the grey version. You know, you get a little bit of dust here already, you can probably see that. But yeah, it's we're quite happy with this grey version. Now you've got the option obviously to have your native controllers where you take these pieces off. Just zoom in there now. So you've got your Genesis and Mega Drive, moving along NES, and you've got your SNES, and yeah, they're the three options of the native controllers. Now there's also a, let's just bring it up now, zoom back. Okay, so we've got our, this is the Hyperkin controller. Now it's charging at the moment from the micro SD slot there, you can see. Just take you around the controller. So you've got select and power, start, 6 buttons up the top. There's a little kind of groove there to put your hands into. Quite like this from the fact that it's easy, and I think that's probably a best word to sum up the whole kind of experience. It's an easy experience. Quite nice obviously to play with your native controllers, but equally one controller, all games, not lots of swapping out. And also the other thing for me is these little plastic pieces here, you know. Okay, you could chuck them in the back like this perhaps, but they're going to get lost, they're going to get hoovered up, the dog's going to eat them, your child's going to eat them, or you're just going to lose them. So generally I tend to use the this kind of thing here. It's, you know, it's easy to kind of manage. There's enough consoles kicking around, so why not just keep it simple. The front of the machine here, you can see with the branding, the Retron 5 branding. When the machine, basically when you put a cartridge in, it kind of zips through this with a nice LED light, and then it selects the console that you're in, which is a nice little feature. We've got Outrun in there at the moment on the Mega Drive. I mean, taking the cartridges out, there's been quite a lot on YouTube about this, but if you just kind of grip the corner, you can see how easy that pops out and then sort of pops in. Now, in your sort of usual scenario with a Mega Drive, you probably just pop it straight out the centre like that. You can still do that, but equally, just putting it there on one side, you know, that makes it a lot easier to take out. That's not in the instruction manual, it's just basically a recommendation really. So let's just take you around the rest of the actual hardware itself. Kind of, you know, got some tone style in there, I suppose you'd call it. Taking in quite close there. Now that's where you put the controller that sits in there. Show you how that works. So that just kind of slots in there like so. So you can just keep that nice and safe. Take that out. Just take that part out for a second. And right, so you've got, getting quite close now, you've got your power, USB, so that's where you charge off from. The all-important HDMI, and obviously you've got your SD card for your cheats and your extra saves, and we'll go through a bit of that later. Just take you around the rest of the console. So there's your effectively your 2-player ports, so just a kind of duplicate of what's on the other side there. But you know, if you're going to take those out, you've got to keep these things safe. You're just going to lose them otherwise. So in terms of the variants, you've got obviously your Genesis that pops into this slot here. Then you've got your SNES, NES, and Famicom. Just flipping it up. Game Boy, Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color. And then you can put your Master System converter into your Genesis, Mega Drive, and play Master System games. Haven't yet played 32X or even tried that, and yeah, just whether that works. I'm sure there'll be plenty of opinion and views on that. I actually haven't tried that. But there's your Retron 5. We did the unboxing, but just showing you a little bit more features there. Serial number. And now let's go in and do a bit of gameplay, which is the most important thing. So we're going to take you through a few games, take you through what we've been playing a little bit, and give you a little view on the Retron 5. Okay, this is the Retron 5. We're going to take you through some games now. We've probably been playing this for about 2.5 weeks. I reckon about 40 game cartridges we've had in and out. Generally had good success with all the carts we've put in, so just going to take you through a few games now. Probably unedited most of this video, and just talk you through what we think about it, take you through some of the starter options that you get in terms of the menu, and play some games, show you some live gameplay, and show you some good gaming hopefully that it can do for you, and also some of the things that perhaps you want to know about if you haven't bought a machine. So what happens when you fire it up, you get this menu. It basically loads the ROM in of the game, and it takes, depending on the sort of size of the game really, takes anything from like a couple of seconds to about a minute for some of the bigger games. I've got the volume pumped up so you can at least hear what's going on. I'll come back to the menu in a minute, so let's just get some gameplay going now. What we've got here is Sonic 2 rather, and this is the last place where I've actually played it and saved it. Now that's the cute thing, so if I show you what you can do there, you've got your save state slots, I think there's 9 of those, and effectively you just save it as you go along. So if I just go like that, you can see save state, move along a bit, stop it, load state, bang, back to the future. So yeah, that's kind of how that works. I don't know how this is going to come off because I'm a little bit further down in this game than I normally am, and that's the point about the old save states, to be honest, that effectively you can sort of stop there, kind of save it. If you're not, you know, fantastic at certain games, you know, you give yourself a chance to actually kind of move from one bit to the other. There you go, see, not so great there. But yeah, it gives you a chance to, you know, almost sort of find your way through a game, as opposed to actually just dying time after time. So, you know, again, you can say that it depends how much you want to do this, you know, because ultimately you're just stopping and starting. But particularly when you get down into a certain point of the game, then you know, you can basically sort of find your way and so forth. So that's kind of the save state bit. I'll just take you back to the main menu now. I mean, there's a few features you can do in game. So there's your volume up and down. Take that up and down, actually, you know, rather than actually messing around with your TV volume. Now the filters thing, again, I'll show you kind of what you can do there. There's various filters that you take yourself through, and put one on there, return to the game, I mean, you can see that just to sort of get that little sort of shading aspect to it. Now, personally, I like Sonic as is. I think the filters is down to personal preference, but essentially, if I'm playing Sonic, I just like it as is. So I'll return to the game, show you what. So you can see all the pixels there. But some games really benefit from that filtering, and I probably might be able to take you through a few of those. But again, it's just down to personal preference. You know, if you're a sort of, I guess, sort of hardcore, or not necessarily even hardcore, but just retro gamer that likes their games as is, then you probably just want to keep it as is. So this is another point where I'll save state, because I know I'm probably going to die at this point. I'll show you how that works. You see, I'm going to die now, pretty much. So I can go back. You know, some people might call it cheating, but second chance is probably what I'll call it. And carry on, keep my lives. So you can see the whole benefit of saving the state, really. Again, probably just do it there again. You know, you can see the benefit from saving the state. Take that. Here we go. Hopefully, see, I'm probably not going to make that. And again, back to that again. Give myself another chance. Let's see if I actually make it this time. No, I'm probably going to die again. No, I made it. So you can see total benefit of saving the state. It's funny. So yeah, up we go. Just play a little bit more of this, so I'm actually doing fairly well. I haven't played Sonic 2 for a while, so I mean, you can see the definition of the graphics here. It's pretty damn good. I'm not going to be doing a recording through the system that I might do. I'm showing you actually on the screen the reality of it. I mean, from where I'm sitting, very rich colours, HD quality, and you know, the experience is, it's almost like a totally different way of playing the game in terms of the visual effects. It's a bit like watching a Blu-ray movie. You know, when you're watching it from a VHS, yeah, you know, you can say that's sort of the vintage way of doing it, but it's rubbish. DVD is obviously very good. Here I go, I'm probably going to die again. See, that's where I should have saved the state. That's a complete situation where I've now got to start back to the beginning. Obviously I don't, because I can go back. Let's just get that, load that again. But obviously I'm back here. I forgot to save the state because I was talking. So I'm not going to take you through it, but you can see what I'm saying about doing that. So I'll save that just back there. Make sure I did that. Save. Okay, so going back to the menu now, and let's just go back to the main menu. Just take you through the options. So game menu, got cheats in there. I haven't put an SD card, but you can put your cheats in there. You can actually do a copy save onto a Retron or into a Kart. I haven't really got into that in a big way yet. Settings, okay, so scan lines we talked about, and there's variant versions of those. Try them out. They've each got their own sort of plus and minus, I guess. Aspect ratio, generally personally stick with normal. You've got stretch, zoom, display over scan, resolution, you can force that now. Refresh rate, generally you can have match gain, but I tend to stick to 60 Hz. Screen size, you can see basically you can adjust that so the game sort of actually fits to the screen how you want it. Sound enhancement, I think I just had that on. I haven't even thought about that. I'll probably put it on when I set the thing up. Bass boost, give you a bit of bass. I kind of have it off. Treble, generally don't in anything boost the treble that much. I don't think it needs it. GUI sound effects. To be honest, I have no idea what that is. I'm sure somebody will tell me. But yeah, it's kind of lots of options. Volume, again, you see you can control it there, but generally you might want to do that in game. Okay, so this is where you kind of manage your controllers. So this is the controller. I've actually got this charging at the moment via the micro USB, and yeah, so that charges for an hour or so, and you can take it off, and you can then obviously play it wirelessly. Now, I actually quite like this controller, partly because of the wireless aspect to it, but also going back to earlier, the console having to take in and out the little kind of plastic parts, putting in your actual native controllers. You can lose those plastic parts. It's a lot of sort of taking in and out. You know, it's like the retro sort of trio. You can do the same thing, but I quite like this. You know, it fits okay in the hand. There's probably a better product design they might have been able to do, but I'm not complaining. It's good enough for me. I've got 2 of these, pretty happy with them as they are. So that's charging at the moment. Now, when you, a bit like the Wii U, when you get the controllers fresh out of the box, you just go into here and you pair it. You know, literally press that button, press the button on the, I think it's the home in fact, and then that basically fires you up. I haven't really gone into these. These are shortcut buttons, so ways of actually getting to functions quickly. Control the auto power. In fact, I might just change that and put that to 10 minutes while I'm here. I don't want to power off because that will stop me doing. Controller to player mapping. Probably need to have a few more weeks on this, playing around with these functions, because I don't really got into that. Button mapping, hotkey configuration. Console region. Oh, I just flipped out of that, easy to do. Let's just go back into that again. Just go down menu. So you can select, but quite frankly, why would you? Just put it on auto, there's no need to do it. Auto loads last state, definitely have that on for me anyway. So when you put the actual Kart in, wherever you've last saved, it just comes up, fires up. I mean, I think that's the beauty of this machine. It's a bit like with Blu-ray, where you can put the disc in and it fires up from the last time you saw it. It's a lovely little feature, and definitely recommend that. Auto start cartridge. Now, I hadn't actually sort of had this on, but that's another one you could flip on and imports the saves on the first run. There's lots of options here, you know. File manager, actually don't have a SD in there at the moment. Quick info on startup, don't really want that on. System information, just telling you what the software is, hardware version, showing me that I haven't got an SD card in. So that's pretty much it in terms of the settings. So what I'm going to try and do now is just go back to game menu. So you want to be, when you're taking the cart out, obviously you can't put 2 carts in at the same time. The other thing is taking the cart out during gameplay. I don't know whether there's anything on this in terms of where it should or shouldn't be done, but I generally don't. I don't think it's particularly good perhaps to have it sort of running and pull the cart out, so I'm not going to do that. So let's just take Sonic 2 out. Let's just return to game, or return to menu rather. So take to the menu. So back in that menu, I'm now going to take the cart out. No cart inserted, and let's bang in something interesting, maybe like Mickey Mouse Castle of Illusion. So in that goes, and just going back there, so that fires it into the last time I played it. Just going to go back to the, I'll reset the machine actually. So I've reset the machine because I changed the option. It's now automatically playing the cart rather than actually going back. Let's go back to main menu and show you there. So that's Castle of Illusion. That's the Japanese version, which I'm going to try and pronounce very badly, which is Fushigi no Oshiro da Buken. That is probably the worst Japanese translation you've ever heard, but I gave it a go. So if I go to play, now that's taking me back to the beginning of the game. So obviously, if I had any game saves in there, there you go. So you can see there, taking me back to the beginning. So really, let's go back to the main menu again. Go back to those settings. I'm probably going to have that, because I quite like to see the main menu when I actually fire the thing up. So play again, you can see that. And if I press reset, what's that going to do now? That's interesting. Right, so that takes me to the beginning again. So load save. Anyway, here you can see now I'm back to my previous position. I haven't played this for a while. Right, let's remember what the controls are. I mean, the sound on this is pretty exceptional as well. Again, it's like the Blu-ray experience. This bit is a bit tricky. It's been a while. As you can see, it's been a while because I completely died there. But yeah, the sound is amazing. I mean, I haven't got this particularly hooked up to anything special in terms of surround sound. It's just hooked up to the telly. There he goes again. I say it's probably the worst game of Mickey Mouse I've ever played in my life. Let's just take him a little bit further. But the fact is, it's not just about the picture, the sound is amazing. It really is. You know, you probably can't hear it from what I'm playing right now, but it's just rich. It's kind of clean. I think that's the best way to describe it, really. It's a very clean, crisp sound, particularly on certain games. I think this is one. I mean, it's a quality kind of game, this one, in terms of the actual production of it. So you get that richness of sound, that richness of colour. Now this is an interesting one with the scan line. So if let's just save that. Maybe just save it there. I go back to the filter. Okay, so if I take you to Super Eagle, maybe scale. Let's take you to Super Eagle. Return to game. And you can just see it gives you that little kind of, well, I guess cartoon-like quality. Now, the thing about this game is that it's got a cartoon-like quality already. So, do you really want to enhance it beyond its original? I mean, it's just one of those things to play with. Ultimately, it comes down to preference. It comes down to whether you want to just play the original or not. Now, obviously, you can just play the original on the Mega Drive. You don't have this sort of thing. So it's just a case of let's just playing it out, enjoying it. If you don't like it, go back to that, and there you are, really. So there you go. I'm nearly running out of power here. I wouldn't mind a little bit of extra or something. So yeah, that sums up my game of Mickey Mouse. So I'm going to chuck in something else now and say a bit more Nintendo, because we don't want to just play a bit of Sega. Let's go back to that main menu and take the cart out. Now, taking the cart out on the right hand side just seems to be a bit smoother. There's no particular rhyme or reason for it. So I think we're going to chuck in a bit of Mario Kart. So that goes in the SNES slot, and this is the oh, there you go, unknown cartridge. So just a little bit of a clean. I'm just giving it a brush now, just a gentle thing with a cotton bud. Let's just see if that works. I think this is because the cart hasn't been cleaned for a little while. See, that's gone in. So that just shows you that you need to keep your carts clean. It's not the actual system always. Now there are some carts that don't work, but clearly it is down to just maintaining the cart. Blowing onto it. It's an instant. It does work. People who say it doesn't, it does. But you could be blowing a little bit of shall we say, spittle onto the cart, and you can cause rust. So I wouldn't recommend it. Just there's various ways you can clean it, but I just use a cotton bud there with a little bit of kind of water, mineral water on it, very light amount, not loads, and just dried it with a little paper towel there. So let's just see what we've got going on. So Super Mario Kart is a great game to play. I mean, just the sound, the quality of the picture is just exceptional. I mean, to be honest, I had a Retro Trio, which is okay, but there was a little bit of perhaps lag, should we say? So this stuff definitely doesn't get that. I mean, it was a slight lag, but this for me, just you don't get any aspects of that at all. So let's go back to the games, get some gaming going on rather than talking. But let's just take you through that. So CC, okay, that's fair enough. And who should we have? Let's have a little bit of Toad for a change. So I don't know if you can see there just how kind of clean the colour is from that. It really is amazing as far as the actual experience goes. So yeah, I haven't figured out the keys. It's always important to do when you start. So I'm currently 8th position. I need to make a bit up in terms of time. Now no Sammy Settin, as you can tell, who obviously is a major champion at this. In fact, I'm probably going to restart. That's how bad it really was, because I didn't have the key ready. So sorry about this, you have to go through the whole thing again. I'll whisper it, bang, bang. Having fun now. Right. Let's go for it. Try and get a better start this time. It's not that good because I think I was talking rather than concentrating. But there's no jumping, there's no issues at all. I just think it's a great game to play on this machine. There's no denying that it is great to play on the original console. But how long are your consoles going to last if you're day in, day out kind of jamming your karts in and out of them? That's what I question. And also there's a space saver aspect to this as well. The fact that you can literally reduce your consoles by 4 or 5 large consoles in the corner. And then obviously, you probably would keep your handhelds around anyway, so I wouldn't say it's a space saver and they don't take up much room. But for the larger consoles, if you've got say you've got a Mega Drive or a Genesis and then SNES, NES, and you might have a Famicom as well, then you're talking about quite a bit of space, and it's the point that you can put the karts in and out very easily, which for me is great. You can just go to one machine, put them in and out, and it's an easy experience. That's the point about the Retron. It's built for people. It's a people product. It's a gamer's product for me. Definitely get that sense that we have been thought about. There's things that you could maybe improve, and I'd be interested to see what things you guys would improve about it. But equally, you take it for what it is, and I'm hoping that they will also perhaps bring out some more upgrades of software and so forth for it. But yeah, that's Mario Kart, a definite game to enjoy on this machine. So what else can we pump in there to just try out while we're here? Let's just pull that out, see what that pulls out. I'm going to put in Xevious. Now I haven't show you the Xevious. There you go. Now I haven't played this for some time, so it might be a little bit dirty, so I'm just going to give it a little bit of a clean. It's probably actually played this about 3 weeks ago, maybe. In it goes first time. Now that's pretty good, because I actually tried to put that into the Famicom just recently and it wouldn't play. So you kind of easy to be critical of these things, but that just went in first time. So let's just see if it takes off where I was last time, which it does. So you've got that whole kind of you know, that point where you've got to a certain point in the game, you had to perhaps go and do something, and you can get straight back into it again. Now, this is a tough game, so I'm just going to give it a little go. This is not a particularly far forward point in the game that I got to, so I'm going to do the old save state. Now, I don't do this all the time, you know, it just gets boring otherwise, but like I say, if you want to get somewhere far in a game you haven't got to before, it's a bit like playing MAME, where you can put the, you know, extra coins in, because, you know, most people can't complete perhaps Golden Axe on 1 credit. You know, there are people who easily can. There's people who can complete, you know, really tough games on 1 credit, but this just gives you the chance to play through a game. As long as you don't rely on it heavily and too much, it just gives you the opportunity to be able to sort of start off somewhere a bit further in the game, and obviously you can get yourself a bit further. So it's going to really sort of show you how that kind of works. Again, you know, talking about the richest of colours, you know, those NES games on this, they really do come up nicely. I mean, it's very sort of difficult unless you're actually sitting here looking at this screen now, but hopefully it's coming through a little bit on the film in here, but those greens are just so rich, and the kind of white is white as white, it's person white. So it just enhances the whole experience for you. Oh, I knew I was going to get nailed by that one. So, look at the sound, it really blares out beautifully. Let's just take a little bit of time. This is just a classic game, absolute classic to play on this system. You can't beat it. I mean, some of the Famicom and the, sorry, this is a Famicom game rather than a NES game, but some of the Famicom and NES games, again, it gives it a new lease of life, this machine. It absolutely does. There's nothing like playing it on the original system, not denying that, but just through that HDMI, it just upscales it, it gives it that, you know, extra bit of boost, extra bit of colour. And you know, as I say, this is a gamer's machine. If you've got a lot of carts lying around, but perhaps, you know, you've got the console up in the loft, or the console's not hooked up because there's too many consoles to hook up, you know, this thing, you can literally chuck those carts in, regain that experience, get that experience of putting the cart in the machine, which, you know, I do, you know, if you own a game and obviously own the game sort of right out and play the ROMs, yes, fair enough, you know, you can do that as well, but yeah, it's just a nice thing of being able to take the carts from the shelf, put them in the machine, and still get that sort of, you know, feel like you're getting an experience as a gamer. So we're running through this now. I'm probably going to just save that just where I am, and there you go. That's saved. Go back to the main menu, and just for now probably play one more game, because we're kicking into about half an hour now, which is probably one of our longest reviews, if you like. So that comes in, and I pretty heard there, to be honest, the Famicom is a little probably tighter on this console, but it's not mega tight. You can get it out, but it's pulling it on that right hand side, and effectively you get you know, you get this sort of thing out fairly easily as far as we're concerned. And just one last game, we can't really not put this in, which is Streets of Rage. It's about, what, 15 seconds to get that in. So this is Bare Knuckle 2, in fact, Streets of Rage, which we've been playing quite a bit, I have to say. I mean, this is a classic. This really is an amazing game to try out on the Retron 5. But it's a great game just generally. So you can see there, amazing quality, amazing, just superb. I'm getting a bit sort of into the game, so I need to talk over it. The sound is just, yeah, it's that kind of pingy sort of arcadey sound that really reminds you of those beat 'em ups in the arcade. And you know, pumping this up in the home, definitely, you know, 2-player especially, it just gives you that kind of old school experience that we're all looking for. This really is, you know, this and Double Dragon. I've got Double Dragon 2 as well, I've been playing that a bit, but it's a great kind of get a few mates round, get a few beers going, and enjoy the whole experience of it. I'll just show you just on the scan lines. Sorry, not the scan lines. Let's just go back to the main menu. Take you through. In fact, you don't need to go to main menu. Obviously, you can do it from here. So, Super Eagle, return to game. What that does, it just gives it a little enhancement. You can see that just coming a bit close there. But with Streets of Rage, I don't really want that on. I'm quite happy with as it is the original kind of retro experience. There's somebody hanging about there. That's it. That's how I need to move on to get them out of the way. Anyway, glitch in the game there. They just seem to be. I can't really see them. I'm just going to stand there while I kind of hit them, take them out. One more punch and move on then, hopefully. They're just not moving, are they? I know why, I just realised it's 2-player, which, because I was playing 2-player the last time with a mate. So yeah, we'll leave that there, because I was just beating my own character up, which is rather amusing. So that's our overview of the Retron 5, some gameplay anyway. I think overall it's a great system in terms of the gameplay. I haven't really got any major gripes. As I say, there was a few games that perhaps didn't work. And I think they were mainly Famicom games that we were going through. Had no issues with any of the Genesis or Mega Drive games. But yeah, very happy overall. We'll put it through a few more paces and maybe come back and do another review with the guys around, talking to you guys as to what they think about it. But this is our Retron 5 review. Hope you enjoyed it. If you've got anything you want us to look at further with the machine, happy to do that. Put your comments below. Thanks very much, guys. Appreciate it.